Hello and welcome to another Fortress Power video. And in this video, we are going to show you how to commission the eBoost battery with an eWay Lite and a Fortress Power Envy inverter using the Fortress Power Pro app. The app takes you through the step-by-step guided commissioning process that makes any residential grid-tied application super easy. Now, in order to do this, you will need the Fortress Power Guardian, which now interfaces both inverter and battery together and allows you to view the most granular of details of both devices and continuously monitor your system's health and performance. So the first thing you're going to need is the Guardian monitoring device. Let's get started. I'm going to open the Guardian and expose the items. You have a battery communication cable that plugs directly into the Guardian and the eWay. Have power cables. Now we're gonna take these and we're gonna connect them directly into the second port of the Envy inverter. Since the eWay Lite does not provide a DC port for these cables. Now the regular eWay that includes a bus bar already has those cables, both the communication cable and the power cable, connected together. And this is an AC plug, which is a secondary method to plugging or energizing the Guardian. Now, we're gonna take the Guardian, we're gonna put it in this slot right here. Okay. And using these ports right here, we're gonna plug in the DC power cable and then the communication cables that go from Guardian to the eWay. You can see right here, this is the DC cable. I'm gonna plug it right at this port right here, like so. Then I'm gonna take the included green cable, and these cables will arrive with 4 pins. Make sure to disconnect the blue and the blue-white pins. Just leave the orange and the orange-white, okay? I'm gonna connect that right here. Nice. Then we're gonna take the battery communication cable that came with the Guardian and we're gonna plug it into any of these ports. All 3 ports are common, so it doesn't matter if you put it in this port or this port and this port, it's gonna do the same function, okay? Just make sure that you leave your terminator on. Now, in a parallel battery system, meaning there's multiple batteries, what you're gonna do is connect the Guardian at the primary battery, okay? The way to identify that is the last battery will have this little terminator, okay, connected into the last battery. Since this is the primary battery, it will not have the terminator plugged in, but rather you will have the communication cable that goes from battery to battery, and then the power relay cable that also goes from battery to battery. Then we're gonna take a Ethernet cable and we're gonna crimp the cable so that we only use 2 wires, preferably the orange and orange-white wire. And we're gonna plug it as so. Orange is gonna be on the left corner, top left corner, and orange-white is gonna be on the bottom left corner, as you can see here. And then we're gonna plug that here. Nice. Next thing we're gonna do is take the cable that was crimped, the other end of the cable that was crimped, right? We have the cable that was at the top left corner, which is this guy right here, and then the bottom left corner. So we're gonna call this one A and this one B. And I'm gonna connect B first here, as such, and then A, like so. The next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and commission the system. Make sure to have your breaker on the energized position, and then go ahead and power your battery. press the power on off button, hold it for 5 seconds until you see the LED, and then that will energize the inverter. Next, what we're gonna do is take the phone and download the Fortress Power Pro app. Once you've downloaded the Fortress Power Pro app, you're gonna go ahead and sign up an account. Then click on sign up. Now, for users who already have the Guardian or an Avalon system and have an account with Fortress Power, just go ahead and click on login. You will be redirected to change your password, and with that new password, you'll be able to log in and participate from the new Fortress Power Pro app. You can use those same credentials to also log in on the owner app. Okay, so now I've created my account. Now, I am going to commission a new site. This is my new site. I'm going to go ahead and scan the Bluetooth instead, since I already put the Guardian inside the eWay Lite. I see my Guardian. Okay, now I'm ready to confirm and continue. I'm connected to my router, okay, via Wi-Fi, but you can also do this with a hardwire Ethernet cable directly to your router into your Guardian as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and confirm the settings. I'm gonna confirm my location. And then I'm gonna name my site, right? So I'm just gonna call this app demonstration. Confirm. I'm gonna put end user email. I'm gonna register the system to the cloud. All right, continue. Now I'm gonna choose the inverter that I'm commissioning. In this case, I will be choosing the Envy. And then the battery that I'm commissioning, which is the eBoost. I'm gonna confirm my Fortress Power equipment. And then now I am ready to go through the guided step-by-step process. Now, for system owners that already have an Envy inverter and you don't want to go through the guided process just because you might have your settings sort of dialed in, you can go ahead and click on I already have set everything via LCD, and what that process will do is just take you straight to the registration process and you're all done, right? But for the purpose of this video, we're gonna go through the guided process. So begin setup. I'm gonna commission the inverter, so the Envy will be put into standby mode. Just a quick reminder, multiple inverters can be installed for larger residential or commercial systems. However, for this example, we'll assume a single inverter is being used. The voltage supplied to this property is single split phase 122/40, and to ensure you're selecting the correct voltage, measure it directly at your electrical panel using a voltmeter or consult a licensed electrician. Set the system's date and time, and this can be done easily by syncing it with your mobile phone's current time. Choose whether your system is for grid-tied or off-grid applications, and in this case, we're going to choose grid-tied. All Envy series inverters come with a CT included. Since this is an Envy Duo, we will select the 300 amp rated CTs that are included with the inverter packaging. Note that this installation can support CTs anywhere from 100 amps up to 600 amps. Next, select the grid profile based on your region, and unless otherwise specified by a local electrician or authority, choose UL 1741 IEEE 1547. And after selecting the grid profile, the inverter will automatically reset to apply these changes. Select the application based on your energy needs. And here at Fortress Power, we already provide the preset parameters for each operating mode, making it easier to apply the appropriate settings. On the next page, you will confirm these settings and adjust any parameters as needed. You can set the battery on-grid cutoff, which determines the state of charge at which the system switches the load from battery to the grid. You can also configure the off-grid cutoff, which means that when the battery reaches this SOC level, the inverter will stop supplying power to the load port, and this value is typically set at 20%. Finally, you have the option to enable grid charging based on the battery state of charge, as well as activating the export to grid function. Next, designate the function that the generator port will have, and you can only choose one of these functions, but for this example, we're going to choose skip this part. Confirm the settings, and congratulations, you're done commissioning this system. Well, we have successfully commissioned our grid-tied residential system, but if you have any other questions, make sure to check us at fortresspower.com. You may also fill in a support ticket where you will have a technical representative reach out to you to answer any technical questions or meet any of your requirements. Thank you very much.